Assalamu alaikum. I used to feel guilty just for asking questions about Islam, my own religion. Like, is that a sign of weak faith? Okay, let's sit down and talk. I remember this one evening. I must have been 17 years old or something like that. We were sitting at the kitchen table, just me and my mom as usual. She was chopping vegetables and I was scrolling on my phone when suddenly I asked her, "Mom, why do we have to pray 5 times a day? Like, couldn't it be less and still count?" She didn't even look up. She just said, "Because Allah said so. That's it. Don't question it." And the way she said it, it wasn't angry at all, but it was final. Like the door had closed. No space for more. I didn't push at that moment, really. I just nodded and pretended to move on. But I really remember feeling something tighten in my chest. Not because I didn't believe, but I think because I did, and I wanted to understand it deeper. But now it felt like just asking made me less faithful. Like I had stepped out of line. And after that, every question I had, like, why does Allah test us with pain? Why are some dua never answered? What if I don't feel anything when I'm praying? I buried them underground. Not because they disappeared, but because I was scared that even having them made me a bad Muslim. So, my friend, it wasn't until a few years later I was sitting alone in my room one night, as usual, just scrolling like always, not even searching for anything deep. But I stumbled on a video where someone mentioned a verse about Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam. Out of curiosity, I opened the Qur'an app on my phone and found it. Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 260. And I read it slowly. وإذ قال إبراهيم ربي أرني كيف تحيي الموتى. My Lord, show me how you give life to the dead. I froze. Wait, what? I read it again. وإذ قال إبراهيم ربي أرني كيف تحيي الموتى. My Lord, show me how you give life to the dead. Wait, this was Ibrahim alayhi salam, the same prophet we call Khalilullah, the friend of Allah, a man of pure conviction, all we know, a leader of Tawheed, and yet here he was, asking Allah a question, not a soft one, not a small one. He was asking how Allah brings the dead back to life. The kind of question we'd be too scared to even think of, let alone say out loud. And it gets even better. Allah responds, قَالَ أَوَلَمْ تُؤْمِنْ. Do you not believe? And Ibrahim answered, قَالَ بَلَى وَلَكِنْ لِيَطْمَئِنَّ قَلْبِي. I do, but just to reassure my heart. I really remember staring at that verse for a long time. I had goosebumps because it was like the Quran was speaking directly to the 17-year-old version of me, the kid who just wanted to know why, but felt like he wasn't allowed to ask. And here is the part that truly shook me. Allah didn't punish him, Prophet Ibrahim didn't scold him, didn't say, "How dare you question me?" He answered him gently, visually, step by step, in a way only Allah can. As if to say, your questions don't offend me if they are coming from a heart that wants to come closer. That night, my friend truly changed something in me. For the first time, I realized Islam doesn't silence your questions, it invites them. And maybe the path to real faith isn't avoiding doubt, it's walking through it with Allah by your side, my friend. After that night, actually, I started seeing it everywhere in the Quran. Like I had been blind before. Verses that don't just give answers, they ask questions, they challenge you, they provoke your mind. أفلا يتدبرون القرآن? Do they not reflect? أفلا تعقلون? Do they not reason? أولم يروا? Have they not seen? It's like Allah is constantly asking us to think, not just obey blindly, but engage, my friend, to question with purpose, to reflect with humility. And I thought to myself, if Allah didn't want us to ask, Why would the Quran be filled with so many open-ended questions? Why would he honor the one who said, Rabbi zidni ilma, my Lord, increase me in knowledge? Why would he tell us to reflect on the creation, the heavens, the sun, the day and night? إن في ذلك لآيات لقوم يتفكرون. Indeed, in that are signs for those who use their minds. We were never meant to be robots. We were meant to be seekers, my friend, curious, thinking, alive. And maybe that's why so many of us feel disconnected today. Not because we are evil, but because we were told to shut down the very thing Allah gave us to find Him, our minds. But here is the truth, my friend. No one told me when I was 17, you are not weak for questioning. You are not less of a believer for wondering. If your question is sincere, so what's the harm in it? Then it might just be the start of your closeness to Allah. Maybe you've had those thoughts too. Maybe you have asked yourself, why do I feel nothing when I pray? Why do bad things keep happening to me? Why does Islam say this and not that? And maybe, like me, you felt ashamed just for wondering. But let me say this to you gently and honestly. You are not broken, my friend. You are not weak. You are not sinful for thinking. If anything, that ache in your chest to understand is a sign that your heart is still alive. And I know it gets confusing. I know people might shut down you, say you are overthinking, say you are being ungrateful, but don't let them stop you. Because the greatest believers, the prophets, the companions, they asked. They struggled, my friend. They didn't hide their questions from Allah Azza wa Jal. They brought them forward, and Allah answered. So, my friend, no. Faith doesn't mean silence. It doesn't mean shutting down your thoughts or swallowing your questions. Real faith is built brick by brick, question by question, step by step, as you walk closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So don't stop asking, just make sure you're asking in the right direction. Because when your question comes from the heart, Allah listens and He answers. So here we are, my friend. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.